Hi there, I'm Phil, and in these Essential Movies videos, I take a spoiler-free look at a film that I think every film lover and budding filmmaker should check out. Today, we're looking at The Apartment. The Apartment was released in 1960, directed by Billy Wilder and written by Billy Wilder and longtime writing partner I.A.L. Diamond. It stars Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred MacMurray. This was the film Billy Wilder made immediately after Some Like It Hot, which I looked at in a previous video. And because Some Like It Hot was such a huge hit, everyone expected Billy Wilder to do the same thing again.
He certainly didn't want to go remake Some Like It Hot. He wanted to have something else that would challenge his audience in a different way. What's new, what's daring, that's where The Apartment came from.
This is often called a comedy, but it's more of a dramedy, as we would call it these days. It's a drama with comedic moments. Billy Wilder, after having worked with Jack Lemmon on Some Like It Hot, really wanted him for this part. He couldn't imagine any other actor in the role of C.C. Baxter.
The minute Wilder saw what Jack Lemmon did in Some Like It Hot, he wanted him for the rest of his life because he brought something that Wilder needed.
Some Like It Hot was the breakthrough for Jack Lemmon. He got a nomination as Best Actor, and it's one of the great comic performances of all time. But in The Apartment, Lemmon really got a chance to show everything he could do.
Because Jack Lemmon is one of the few in the history of cinema genuinely great comedic actors. Not a comedian who also is a good actor, like a Robin Williams or a Jim Carrey. He's a bona fide actor who can handle both drama and comedy equally well. Now, most of Jack Lemmon's earlier films, including Some Like It Hot, were primarily comedies. This was the first role he had where he really got to show his dramatic chops.
I couldn't believe that Billy had done Some Like It Hot, and then just when that's through, he hands me The Apartment and says, "This is our next one." And I read it, and it was one of the best scripts I've ever read.
Likewise, Shirley MacLaine had mostly done comedies and musicals up to this point. The one exception perhaps being Some Came Running, where she really got to show her dramatic chops in that film. In this film, for both of those actors, it's a fine line between comedy and drama, within the same moment, very often.
The mirror, it's broken.
Yes, I know. I like it that way. Makes me look the way I feel.
And the casting of Fred MacMurray was quite unusual. Billy Wilder had worked with Fred MacMurray on Double Indemnity back in 1944, which was a much more dramatic role. But Fred MacMurray was mostly known for playing nice guy roles. He was at the time starring in the TV series My Three Sons, where he's being America's dad. So this was a very different role from the one most people knew him from, as a dastardly, selfish, adulterous businessman.
You know, you see a girl a couple of times a week just for laughs, and right away they think you're going to divorce your wife. Now I ask you, is that fair?
No, sir, it's very unfair, especially to your wife.
The film was not well received when it first came out. People didn't quite know how to take it. They weren't sure if it was a comedy or a drama. And I don't want to spoil the film too much for you, of course, but the second half gets very dramatic. The midpoint moment of this film, it takes a very decided dramatic turn. But right from the start, this is a very uncomfortable situation.
But I promised the guy I'd be out of here by 8 o'clock positively.
What guy? Whose apartment is this, anyway?
What's the difference? Some schnook that works in the office.
And the idea for the story came to Billy Wilder many years earlier.
David Lean's brief encounter. There's a very short scene involving the married lovers meeting in an apartment. And Wilder thought, I'm curious about the guy who would lend out his apartment to this cheating couple.
But it wasn't until 1960 that they felt comfortable enough making a film about adultery and other very adult subjects in quite a frank manner.
What kept it from coming together until 1960 was censorship.
You mean you bring other girls up here?
Certainly not. I'm a happily married man.
Suddenly you had this film where people are very clearly having sex, and this really was novel, unprecedented. The Apartment really was a sort of bellwether of the changing times.
Mildred, he's at it again.
It was nominated for a slew of Oscars and winning 5 of them. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Art Direction for the sets. The office set, in particular, is phenomenal. And it's notable that Billy Wilder and Izzy Diamond, I.A.L. Diamond, were notorious for making actors stick to the script. They didn't much like ad-libs or variations on lines.
Billy Wilder and Izzy Diamond would never let anybody change a word of dialogue in their script. And I had one line where I had to say, he's kind of like a little chihuahua. And he said, like a little chihuahua, not kinda.
He's so cute. He's 5'2", 99 pounds, like a little chihuahua.
You sit there and you make yourself a cup of instant coffee while he rushes out to catch the train. I'm half Canadian, half Virginian. I say out. So I said, while you sit there and he rushes off to catch the train. Billy wouldn't, he screamed and he sent the script girl in, no. And he really was intimidating when you did not say the right word.
The sexual politics in the film may seem a bit dated by today's standards, but for the time, 1960, this was rather revolutionary in cinema to be dealing with subjects like this. And like Some Like It Hot, the film features one of the most famous closing lines in cinema history, which I won't spoil for you here.
That's good thinking, Baxter.
So check out The Apartment. I think every film lover or budding filmmaker should see this film at some point. If you like these kinds of videos, you know what to do. If you'd like to learn more about filmmaking, check out my book linked in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon, where you can see videos I can't put here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Why do people have to love people anyway?
I know what you mean.